Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes. Is assessing, for example, a company's project portfolio part and parcel of actually even looking at the ERM portfolio?
Mm-hmm. It is, because you should only have so many goals, and it's a very small number. A lot of carriers try to do 5, 6, 7 goals at a time, and that is not realistic because the best way to think about it is a pie. And if you try, you know, all of your activities go into this one pie for the entire company. Well, if you try to achieve 7 goals, imagine splitting that pie into 7 pieces. You can only give so much capacity and resources to those 7 goals. But if you try to achieve 1 or 2, holy smokes, you can bring so much more to bear
for sure
on each of those goals. So when you start looking at it from that perspective, say you've got 2 goals. What are the initiatives that are supporting this goal versus this goal? You can bring so much more. And they're typically along the same lines from a topic perspective. They're related. And when they're very closely related projects, there's more synergy between them. And so it's not so disconcerting for people to work on multiple projects that are closely related. As opposed to all the way over here where it's very jarring mentally to have to juggle 2 different projects that are so dissimilar.
One of the things that I heard in there a little bit has to do around decisioning and decision framework. So if I'm thinking about, again, that strategy element, I'm thinking about what to go after, what goals to choose, how are things aligned to those goals. Can you share how, in your experience, you've seen whether or not, and perhaps this doesn't fit, but I'm seeing perhaps is there an opportunity to use ERM to improve my decision making? Not even necessarily just even at the base level in terms of what type of risk do I take, but even in terms of what types of goals and strategy do I choose? Is that applicable?
Absolutely. Because when you start thinking about it from that perspective of asking all the right questions, when you're setting your goals, you start seeing the diversity of goals and you start asking yourself, how are these things going to help move the needle? And I don't like using consulting terms, and I know that one's getting thrown around a lot, but move the needle towards our ultimate vision that we have for this company. And that vision should be, way out in the future. But which one of these is really going to make that progress and make it very discernible, very easily recognizable? So ERM should be asking those tough questions. And I've always had the mindset that ERM should always be about challenging assumptions and asking questions. We're going to be those people in the room asking those tough questions, and management should be okay with that, to be honest. And sometimes they don't like getting asked the questions.
Sure.
Because they know their business. So what is ERM doing questioning me knowing my business? But we're going to ask it in a way that, well, maybe you know your business, but this is affecting the entire company. So everybody needs to know the information that's in your head. So share it with everybody else. Because everybody else may not be okay with the things that you're assuming are going to happen, or the knowledge that's in your head is totally different than where the CEO wants to go. So it's all about bringing everybody all at the same time to the same table so that you can all move towards the same goal. And that's what ERM is always meant to do. You want everybody moving in the same path, being at the same table, and understanding here are the risks, here are the opportunities. We are willing to accept these risks. We're willing to not accept these. We're going to do something, and we're going to move forward as a company because we're all on the same page then.
Love that. That's fascinating. Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.